back to Maple Lynn Home. It's Amanda. Today I am bringing you my second spring decorate with me with some spring home decor ideas for the kitchen. I've already decorated my living room for spring, so you can check that out down below once you're done here if you missed it. But I have to admit, I'm just so ready for spring. This winter has felt really long, even though here where we live in the Pacific Northwest, we've had maybe one winter storm. It really hasn't been too wintry, but it certainly feels like it's just dragged on and on. Let me know down below if you relate. I know lots of you have had quite a bit of snow and winter weather this year, so I'm sure you feel it even more than me. But I am ready for the warmer weather and to just spend more time outdoors with my kids. I saw some of our trees start to develop some buds, so I am hopeful it's just around the corner, but in the meantime, I'm going to try and bring all of the spring vibes here into my home. I'm just wiping down the counters before I start decorating, and if you do want to skip straight to the decor, you can definitely do that. I have the timestamps down below in the description for you. In many of my more recent videos, I've been preferring to do all of this prep work behind the scenes, but I actually filmed this during my kids' midwinter break from school, which I know midwinter break is not a thing in most states, but here in Washington State, where our school year starts and ends later, it starts at the beginning of September usually, and then ends mid to late June. It's definitely a thing that's more common here. So I just didn't have time this week to get all this prep work done before I started filming. Such is life. As a busy stay-at-home mom to 3 boys, 7 and under, with a YouTube channel, I just try to make it work the best I can. I prefer to keep them off camera for their privacy's sake, so that does limit the amount of time I can film during weeks like this. This was a really cloudy, rainy afternoon, typical of a late winter or early spring Pacific Northwest day. So before I got started decorating, I did light a candle for a little bit more of a cozy atmosphere in my house. This is a Bath & Body Works candle in the scent Fresh Cut Lilacs that I purchased last year. I thought the packaging was so cute. And this is one of my favorite spring scents that I always make sure to repurchase when I run out. There is just something about a lilac scent that speaks to me. In the past few kitchen decorating videos I've done, I started in the dining room area with my table centerpiece, but today I wanted to switch it up and start again with the kitchen and particularly the pantry door. I decided to continue to use this hanging basket from Michael's that I had up here in winter, but I added in some bright green eucalyptus from I don't even know where, it's been that long, along with some of my favorite purple florals, which are these hanging purple wisteria stems from Hobby Lobby. I did cut them off of a larger stem just so that they would fit into the basket. Here on kitchen, I guess this little nook next to the fridge, which, by the way, don't mind all of the magnets and kids' projects on the side. I switched out the towel ladder I've been using to hide the plugs with this wall art piece I got from Hobby Lobby's spring shop many, many years ago. I then added a beautiful green berry basket from this year's Hearth and Hand collection. I love this green color for spring. I think it complements my pops of purple so well. I moved the towel ladder over here to cover the plug behind my oil and vinegar bottles and salt and pepper grinders. I added a towel with some light sage green stripes. Not sure whether I got it from Target or Home Goods, but it was probably one of those two places. I've had it for quite a long time regardless. And then next to the salt and pepper, I just placed a small lavender plant for a pop of purple. Here on my chicken wire shelf, I started off by displaying one of my Magnolia Table cookbooks to hide that pesky white phone jack outlet. I have wanted to display all of my cookbooks really in my kitchen for a while, just for ease of use and access. I mean, they kind of just belong in the kitchen anyway as cookbooks, but I just couldn't decide on a good spot for them. This is a solution for one of them. Eventually, I would like to figure out how to move all of them in here, but I'm still kind of struggling with where the best spot would be. I chose the second one because I felt like it would best fit the look I was trying to achieve with all of the light neutrals on the cover and the spine. Now the third one with its more green cover would have worked as well, but I still feel like this one is better. I then surrounded it with greenery, various pops of purple, along with some white and other neutral kitchen pieces that I felt would keep the look light and bright. Moving into the dining room, I am starting with my rack on the side of my kitchen island. I kept the cutting board and conversion chart out as usual, and then I did replace my Valentine's Day towel with this green one from Home Goods. I also added a mini Real Touch tulip wreath I picked up from Hobby Lobby recently. I really love this wreath. I've had my eye on it. I went back and forth about whether I wanted to get it, and I finally just decided to go on ahead and do it, and no regrets at all. Next, for the coffee bar shelves, I kept the top shelf really simple with just my window arch decor that I've kind of had for years now. I got it from Hobby Lobby many years ago, along with a few milk glass spaces with some varying purple florals inside. Now, every part of me kept saying that this shelf needed something else here, but all the items that I tried didn't look right, so I just decided to keep it simple and not add anything else. I think that feeling had more to do with my tendency to want to put too much out rather than the vignette not feeling complete. But that is definitely something I'm trying to work on. While I'll probably never be much of a minimalist, I do think that sometimes less is more. It's just not my natural inclination. So definitely something that I hope to improve on. On the bottom shelf, I ended up keeping it pretty simple as well, but that was mostly because I decided to use a faux plant I picked up last summer from Target Studio McGee line, and it's quite large, especially for this size of shelf. But I just love how it drapes down over the coffee bar, over the shelf here. I think it brings a lush, natural look to this space that feels very spring-like. So it just didn't leave much room for anything else, and I did have to use some of the leftover space for the essentials that I have here on our coffee bar, like our sugar bowl and our coffee ground container. If you've been watching my channel for a bit, you'll know that recently I have been looking for a mug tree for the spring and summer months. They have surprisingly few options in stores that I've looked at, and what they did have, if they had any, were not really what I was looking for. I looked at Walmart, Target, I even looked at Home Goods. I didn't share that trip with you guys because it was kind of last minute, but they didn't have anything there either. So I ended up purchasing one off of Amazon. I love the marble vase on it, and while it did require some assembly, it still feels very solid all put together. Now I will have to add another non-skid kind of button or silicone kind of like foot to the bottom of the base, since the ones that are already there are not spaced out evenly, so I'm kind of worried it might tip, but I can get those just about anywhere and add as many as I need to the bottom. But apart from that, I really haven't had any issues with it. For my dining table centerpiece, I brought out this white vintage vase I bought from a local market, along with my new hydrangea stems from Michael's. I think they look just right in this vase, and I love the beautiful, simple look they bring to the table. I have to admit that I am so pleased with how everything turned out. I think this is probably my favorite spring look that I've ever done in my kitchen so far. I couldn't help noticing while I was decorating just how much my decor style has evolved in the past few years since I started my YouTube channel. I feel like I've just learned so much about my personal preferences, and that a more, I guess, mature style has developed. This is our first home that we've bought, so there's definitely been a learning curve for me, but I am really starting to notice a progression. I feel like for the longest time I was kind of in a little bit of a limbo stage, but it really feels like it's all coming together finally. If you like the final look as well, be sure to leave a thumbs up down below to let me know, and consider subscribing to the channel for lots more home decorating videos. I am so looking forward to seeing you guys in my next one. Bye for now.